Hey y'all, I'm Rylan. Welcome to my channel. Before I get into the fun part of this video, I do just want to share really fast that I've decided to change my channel name from Escaping Through Novels to Reading with Rylan. There is no huge reason for this change, just aside from the fact that I wanted to make my channel name a little bit more personal. My Instagram is already Reading with Rylan. I changed that a few weeks ago, and I decided to implement that to my YouTube channel as well. Literally nothing else about this channel is going to be changing, except for the YouTube name, and then also my intro and outro will be changing as well, just to match my new name. So the intro for today was new. I kind of love it. It's super cute, super quick, and I think it fits pretty well. So I just wanted to announce that really fast. But now we can get on to the fun part of this video, which is going to be a book haul from my Black Friday shopping, which was yesterday. Shopping yesterday actually wasn't all that exciting. I went to the same bookstore 3 times, and each time I walked out, I had new books in my hands, which is not a good thing for me, but I am embracing it. It's fine. I don't care. 4 of these books were very much on sale, so it's fine. I'm cool with it. I'm just vibing right now. But let's go ahead and get into it, and I'm going to talk about the 6 books that I got yesterday. The first 2 books that I got are actually books that I've already read. I gave them both 5 stars. They are 2 of my favorite romances of all time. Love them both. I originally read one on Kindle Unlimited, and then the other one was an ARC that I had from NetGalley. The first book that I got was Neon Gods by Katee Roberts. I read this book in February of this year and absolutely loved it. This book destroyed me, but like in a really good way. Gave this book 5 stars. Could not wait for the sequel, which follows one of Persephone's sisters. This book follows Persephone and Hades. I'll get into the synopsis in a second, but I recently got approved for an arc of the sequel to this book, which is a companion novel, and read it, gave it 5 stars, might be even more obsessed with it than I am with this book, and I am very obsessed with this book. Neon Gods by Katee Roberts is a Persephone and Hades retelling. It follows Persephone, who is the daughter of one of the goddesses of the city, like one of the top people there, and she escapes to the lower side of the city because her mother is trying to set her up with Zeus. And Zeus has been known to kill his wives in the past, or at least it is rumored that he has. So she escapes and she finds her way into Hades' arms. But Hades is just a myth. Nobody realizes that he still exists. We all just think that he's dead. He's gone. He no longer is around. But when she does meet him, sparks fly and romance ensues. Loved this book. Would recommend. I kept juggling with myself, like wondering if I should buy a physical copy or just keep it on my Kindle so I could reread it there. But when I saw it at Books A Million yesterday, or Books and Company, I just knew that I should just go ahead and just buy it, because I really want to reread this one, hopefully either in December or early next year. I loved it so much. Katee Roberts is so great at plot and characters and steam and action, and everything was amazing. And I would recommend this one. But I did just go ahead and buy a physical copy of this book yesterday. So this is the first book that I got. The second book that I got is one that is currently very, very, very popular on BookTok. I didn't buy it because of BookTok. I had read this one before. I believe BookTok was a huge thing. I read it last year, and once again, loved it. Didn't give it 4 stars. Actually, I think I might have said that I gave it 5 stars like a little bit ago, but I actually gave this book 4 stars. But I feel as though if I do reread it, it would be 5 stars this time. And that book is Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. This book follows Misha and Ryan. I don't really know how to say her name. I'm just guessing, but I think it's just pronounced Ryan. It's Ryen. So I don't know, but that's how I'm saying it. This follows Misha and Ryan. They were pen pals growing up, and they became really, really good friends who wrote letters to each other like once a month, I think. And one day they decide, or one of them decides to meet the other one in person. And they were really good friends on paper, but in person, they're not. And this is like, it's not a bully romance, but like there's definitely enemies to lovers vibes, and it takes place in high school, and Misha is just hot and I love him. And Ryan, she grew on me. She definitely wasn't my favorite at first, but she definitely grew up as the story went on, which I really appreciated. So I also ended up getting this one at Books and Company, but I was walking through the romance section at Books and Company yesterday, and I had never seen Penelope Douglas in that store. I know that Barnes & Noble oftentimes sells their books, but I had not seen them in Books and Company. So when I was walking through the romance section and I saw that Punk 57 was not just sitting on the shelf, but that there were multiple copies sitting on the shelf, I looked at it, I was like, nah, I walked away. And then I walked right back and I grabbed it and I was, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and buy it. I gave this one 4 stars. I don't know why I said I gave it 5 stars at the beginning of the video, because I didn't, and I know that I didn't give it 5 stars, but I do plan to reread this one as well and annotate it, and I'm thinking I could give it 5 stars this time. I read this book, I think in December of last year, or it could have been January of this year, I don't remember, but it was over winter break. I just remember my heart physically hurting at the end of it, not because it was sad, because it's a happy ever after romance, but like I just got so attached to what was going on and it hurt me to finish the book. But I loved it. I don't know why I gave it 4 stars at the time versus 5 stars, because I'm talking about it like I gave it 5 stars. It was probably because Ryan kind of annoyed me at first, but she did grow on me. But I do plan to reread this one as well as Neon Gods. Maybe I'll make a vlog out of it and see if my opinion on Ryan changes, which would change my rating of the book from 4 stars to 5 stars. But I don't know, we'll see. I have lots of ideas for my channel come 2022. Maybe I'll add this to my list, I don't know. But these are the first 2 books that I got at Books and Company when I went there yesterday. The third book that I got was a book by an author that I read earlier in this semester for my contemporary fiction course. That author was Isabel Allende, and I purchased A Long Petal of the Sea. This cover is stunning. When I saw it in hardback, on sale for like $8, I knew I needed to get it. I'm not quite sure what this one is about. This one is a little bit more historical than Eva Luna, which is the book that I read for my contemporary fiction course. That one is also very much historical, but fun fact, contemporary fiction is defined as literature taking place after World War II. So Eva Luna takes place after World War II, and although it still feels historical, it's also considered contemporary. This one takes place in the 1930s, so it's a little bit more historical than Eva Luna was. I don't know if it came out before Eva Luna did. I have no idea, but I am just in love with this cover. I truly am. Like, it is so pretty, and my goal for 2022 is to read more books out of my comfort zone, and this one is definitely one of those. I would read it for like a class setting, but not necessarily for fun. So I got it because it was on sale. The cover is beautiful. I knew the author and I really liked the author's other work that I had read. So I grabbed this one, and it is on a spreadsheet that I have for 2022 of books that I am going to prioritize. It's like a 22 books to read in 2022 type of thing. So this is one of those that I have on there. So I do plan to pick this up hopefully in January. I'm going to figure out what books I want to read from that list during the new year, but I might pick this one up because it's just so pretty and I really want to read it. So this is the third book that I got. There was once a time in my life when I almost exclusively read YA, and I still love YA and I love the genre and I love all the subgenres within that huge category, but I definitely read more adult stuff now. But when I go to Books and Company, I always make it a habit to walk upstairs to the young adult section because they always tend to have a super great bargain section for the young adult stuff. So I was browsing that section and I saw these 2 books by this one author that I'd read before years ago. I don't have their books anymore, I don't think, but I really want to get them again because they kind of gave me like Hunger Games and Divergent vibes. The series was called The Testing, I believe, by an author named Joelle Charbonneau. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but I read those books, really enjoyed them, and I didn't realize that the author has actually written several other things. So I found these books in the bargain section. They are stunning. I haven't taken the stickers off of them yet because I'm too nervous to, because I don't want to hurt the cover. But just look at this. Look at that. How stunning. Truly. I don't have a ton of books with white covers, but wow. So this book is called Dividing Eden. It is a young adult fantasy dystopian type of thing going on. Two siblings, one crown, a battle that neither can win. I saw the cover and I just grabbed it. I'm going to display it on my shelves when I have shelves someday in a few months, hopefully. It's going to stand there facing my room because how can you not just fall in love with that cover? So I got this one. And then I also got the sequel, which is called it's called Eden Conquered. The first one is called Dividing Eden. And that cover is also beautiful. There's such a contrast between the two covers. And I think that's going to play like a role in the story as well. And I cannot wait to read both of these. Will I read them anytime soon? I don't know. That is to be determined. But how beautiful are they? So I bought them. They're both on sale, so that's nice. We love discounted books, but I bought these too. Let me see if I can give you all a quick synopsis. Okay, so this book is about twins who are next in line for the throne. They can't both have the throne, and they knew this, but when the parents die, like suddenly, they have to take this test, this trials of something or another to determine which one is more worthy of the throne. And it's huge, it's intense, it's a lot. Kind of like the Hunger Games vibes, I guess, you know, where you have this like huge battle going on to determine, you know, the winner of the Hunger Games. I get the same vibes from this, but just in more of a fantasy setting versus dystopian. But it's a little bit of both, this book is, I believe. And it sounds really good. I cannot wait to read this one. I can't get over this cover. Like, who let this come into existence? It's not fair. It really isn't. Come on. Anyway, I got these two books as well, and I am obsessed with them both. The last book that I got is one that I never heard of before, but I saw it on the shelf and I pulled it out a little bit and it sounded like something that I'd be interested in. I really want to read more horror. I've read a lot of it in the past, but I'm not always super impressed by what I read. It takes a lot to get to me. It takes a lot to scare me when it comes to books, at least. Movies, I'm a lot easier to scare. But when it comes to books, I definitely am not always impressed with the horror that I read because I just sit there and I don't feel anything toward the book. I'm just like, okay, I read that, you know, and I move on with my life. But I grabbed this one. Sounds super interesting, sounds super dark, and it's YA horror, but it sounds like it has potential to me. Never heard of it before, but I thought it sounded good. And that book is called The Forgetting by Nicole Maggie. This book is about a girl named Georgie who gets a heart transplant. And when she gets her heart transplant and wakes up, she feels something is not right. And this heart that she has inside of her now, there's something wrong with it. But it's not like something physically wrong. It's something tied to that heart's past and the person that it lived inside before. And it begins to like take over her. And it says like, a dark room, a man in shadows, the sharp taste of adrenaline. These are her donor's final memories. How interesting does that sound? Seriously, like, what? Okay, I'm intrigued. Might pick this up actually this next week, now that I've read the synopsis better, because that sounds really good. I don't generally try to read the synopsis of books because I like going in without knowing anything, but I had never seen this one around before, so I wanted to like just skim it really fast to see if it would be something that I would like. And this definitely sounds good. Like, this sounds really good. I might actually pick it up next week now. I am going to be back at college for like 2 weeks for final exams, and I'm not planning on bringing a ton of books back. I think I have 4 on my list right now to bring with me, and on my Kindle as well, so I can read ebooks if I read those 4 books pretty quickly. But this one might just be added to that list because, wow, that sounds so good. So anyway, this is the last book that I got at Books & Company. $3.97. I call that a deal. I hope you all enjoyed this fun little book haul. I love walking into my local bookstores and finding hidden gems, especially when they're on sale. And I truly believe that The Forgetting and Dividing Eden are 2 of these hidden gems, and I have such high hopes for both of them when I do get to them, and cannot wait to read them. Never heard of either of them before, but they just sound so interesting, and maybe I can hype them up a little bit if I end up loving them. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one.